Hi warriors, so here we are for some of our judo online tutorials. Today what we're going to be looking at is floor work, so nice easy start. So the things that you might need today are, hopefully you've seen the video on how to make a judo dummy. Here's my guy Derek, but if you haven't, a couple of other options. You could just use a pillow for all of this and just use a normal pillow or a big cushion, or grab hold of yourself, someone at home, and see if they're willing to help you out. So in this video, we're going to go through the 6 first holds that you will learn. Okay, so I'm not worried about which order we practice them in at the moment. I'm just going to go through 6 holds that you can do in judo, and then we'll start putting them into the grading syllabuses in other videos. So here's my guy Derek. Okay, so the first one, which is a really simple one, the first hold we're going to do is Mune gatame. Mune gatame is chest hold. So here's my person Derek. Now in Mune gatame, I'm going to be right next to my partner at the side with both knees facing them. I'll have one knee by his hip and one knee by his shoulder here. Now what I wanted to think about is putting my chest on their chest. So imagine you've got a superhero badge. You use your superhero badge to cover their superhero badge. Don't take your chest down towards their belly, put it onto their chest. So here you want to make sure your chest is there on their chest. For Mune gatame, the most traditional way to do it is one hand underneath the head, the other hand over and underneath their arm. You'll put your hands together, not with fingers together, but like you're clapping here, hands together, and then you'll be nice and close, chest down in here. Generally I'll look away just to make it a bit easier for my partner, or nicer, rather than looking at them here and there. Now, other slight variations or ways to do that is when I'm in here is I might have my legs out. So I might have one leg out, one leg in, or I might have both legs out. If I've got both legs out, make sure your hips don't touch the ground, because now I'm taking the weight off of Derek and I'm making it easier for him to move about, because my hips are now putting a lot of my weight on the ground. I don't want to stop the ground from moving, I want to stop Derek. So if I have my legs out, I'm going to go on my toes, lift my knees up, lift my hips up, so now I'm driving in from my toes, in down on my chest here. So I've not got those hips down here, I've my chest and toes are taking the weight. Another thing you can do, if you talk about skydiving, so when I'm here, I want to think about not putting my elbows down, but putting my arms up. And here, I'm pulling them up towards me, rather than putting my elbows and arms on the ground. Pull them up towards me a little bit, pressure on, feet down the ground, and there we've got Mune gatame. So I could either be in here, on Mune gatame, or put my legs out. So that's going to be our first little practice, going from knees in Mune gatame to legs out Mune gatame. So my arm comes in, arm underneath, grab hold. So now from there I'm going to put one leg out, make sure my hips off the ground, other leg, good. Now take my knees in, 1, 2, here, 1, 2, take the legs in, 2, do a few reps of these, off you go. So go in and out, trying to keep that pressure on that chest. Try and keep your hips down, so don't go up here, try and keep your hips down and through. So a slight variation from Mune gatame could be, rather than putting my hand under the head, put my hand over, pull it back in between their shoulder and their neck, so it's nice and tight under here. Then my arm comes underneath, and then we've got the same thing. So then we can practice legs out, legs in, legs out, legs in, and legs out here. Okay, so on this one, I'm just tucking this arm in, nice and close, pulling them in towards me, an arm under there. One final variation to Mune gatame that I use is arm over the top. I might grab hold of the shoulder and the gi, and this hand goes and blocks this hip. To stop them from turning into me here, I'll grab hold of maybe the belt, or even just put my hand here by their hip, or go down and grab hold of a trouser leg here and hold them out here a bit more. So exactly the same thing, but a slight variation on the Mune gatame. So I bring Derek round, so hands gone over the top, arm by the hip here, and then here. So then I'm going to have my legs out, in here, one leg out, in, 2 here, out, in, bring my legs out, in. Okay, so there's our first hold of Mune gatame. Now, next one from there we're going to look at is Kesa gatame. So Kesa gatame is one of the harder holds to learn. So from here, let's start around this way. I'm going to have my knee, I'm going to be at my side of my partner, but I'm going to have my knees up by their shoulders. So this is just a starting position. From there, I'm going to take this arm that's in between myself and Derek out. I'm going to put it underneath my arm. I'm going to chicken wing it. So I'm going to grab hold of his elbow and chicken wing it down. This hand is going to stretch over and go underneath his head. Now I want to lean into him, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop onto that hip here. Now the hip that's touching the floor, or the part of your bum that's touching the floor, that leg goes up high. The other leg comes out, and then you've gone and got your running legs here. So here's my Kesa gatame. I might grab hold of the gi here. I'll have his elbow here. So when I'm grabbing hold of his elbow here, I'll be grabbing underneath it like that here. Not on top of the elbow or in front of the elbow. I'll go right behind it, so when he's pulling down into the grip. So let's go through that again. So kneel next to him. This hand that's in between us, or this arm, lift it up, pull it and grab, hold it, tuck it. Other hand goes over the top, goes underneath, and then fall onto my hip that I want to go onto, driving in towards their ribs. And then this bottom leg, the hip that I'm on, goes up high, and this other leg comes out there, and we've got our running legs there through here. Let's go through that again. So from here, arm is in between us, wrap it through, arm over the top, tuck underneath, fall into them, and into your running legs. Remember, this leg is the leg that's touching the ground, or the hip that's touching the ground, the hip that you're sat on. So one thing that will help here is I'll pop my weight onto that back hip here. So rather than me being sat on the floor, because again, a lot of my weight and pressure is going on the floor, I want it to go on Derek. So I'll push my rib cage in towards his rib cage, and I'll put my back hip, and I'll pop it onto their back hip. So then I'm sitting on their hips here. I'll be driving in with my feet towards him, but not so I'm leaning this way. So I'm driving into him here, driving down. So he's got a bit of pressure there. So as he's moving about, I can keep hold of it here. And there's my Kesa gatame. So now if we do it to the other side. So arm that's in between us, I pick up, grab underneath me. I chicken wing it down. So chicken wing is when you take that elbow and you tuck it down. Other hand goes over the top and underneath, and I might grab hold of his gi here. I fall onto that hip, and now that hip that I'm sat on, I put up high, that foot, and my other foot comes in here, like I've got running legs here. So they're not out there, they're like I'm running through the position here. I'm going to pop my back hip up onto their back hip, so I've got a little bit of pressure. Try not have your feet up, try and have it so the edges of your feet are pushing in, but not over too much. So we're here. And I'm going to try and make sure if they're moving, I'm just moving with them. So Kesa gatame from here. Arm that's in between us, remember? My knees are up by their shoulders, I'm by their side. Arm in between us, pick it up. Grab hold of the elbow just behind it here, but on their arm. Chicken wing it, stretch over. Tuck underneath their head, lean onto them, driving into their ribs. And then base your feet out here in your running legs. Don't have this leg up, because it's easy for them to come and catch it with their leg. Try and have this leg down. Remember, pop that back hip up here, and there we've got Kesa gatame. Okay, so here we go through. One, grab, Kesa gatame. Let's try it again. So this arm, put it up, grab over top, tuck it as tightly into your armpit as you can, chicken wing it, grab the elbow, arm underneath, back on the back hip, sit down into them, pop that hip in onto theirs, and then we're driving into here, into that Kesa gatame, making sure we're not leaning too far this way. So the next hold is really simple. Once you've mastered that Kesa gatame, or got an idea what you're doing, is Kuzure Kesa gatame. Kuzure just means broken scarf hold. So this time I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to grab the arm that's closest to me. Notice my positioning. I'm next to them with the knees up high. Grab the arm that's closest to me, pick it up, tuck it underneath the far arm. Instead of stretching over their shoulder, this time I stretch over their body underneath their shoulder, and I pop this arm underneath their arm. So now my scarf hold is broken. I drop onto the back hip. I do my running legs. Remember, the hip that's touching the ground is the one that I have up high. And here's my Kuzure. So I might grab hold of this gi a little bit, tuck in this elbow, and then base my weight into their ribs here. Okay, so look at that again. So Kuzure, instead of going over the top, goes underneath. So this arm that's closest, I grab, tuck it underneath. My other arm goes over the top, underneath their arm, here, and I'll pull that hip in. So this back hip here, that back hip there, I'll tuck it in there. Okay, I'll bring it in here. I'll grab hold of that gi here, drop onto their back hip, scissor my legs into a running position, and here I am, dropping my head down, making sure my weight's on them, positioned in the center for Kuzure Kesa gatame. Once more on this side, grab the arm, tuck it underneath, other arm goes under, grab hold, kick your legs out, remember fall onto that hip, the hip that you're on, or the butt cheek that you're predominantly on, put that leg up high. So now from here, drive in, grab hold of the top of the gi, pull the elbow in, nice and tight, and here's my Kuzure Kesa gatame. Let's go to the other side. So from here, the arm that's in between us, I tuck underneath and I chicken wing, just like in Kesa. This arm, instead of going over the shoulder, goes underneath the shoulder and underneath their body. Now grab hold of that top gi shoulder and tuck my elbow in. I lean onto them with my hip. Remember the hip that I'm sitting on, I put that leg up high and put my legs out to running legs. And here I am, now I'm Kuzure Kesa gatame. So I'm here, basing my weight down, driving through. We go again, this arm that's in between us, I grab, tuck underneath, arm goes under, grab hold of the gi, tuck hold of the elbow into their hip, lean onto them, hip that I'm sat on is the leg that goes high, and then the other leg's out at the back here, my running legs. I drive in, keeping my head down so they can't push and pull me about so much, and here I am sat on that back hip. Once more for Kuzure. So from here, I pull in, tuck, other arm goes underneath, grab hold of the shoulder, sit onto the hip, running legs, and through. And here we are with Kuzure Kesa gatame. So, from here, let's just run through those few holds. So we've got Mune gatame, so underneath the head, underneath the arm, chest on chest, superhero badge on superhero badge, legs either in and tight by the hip and the shoulder, or legs out here. Through, through. Move yourself round, hand underneath the head, hand over the top, underneath the arm, tuck in, superhero badge and superhero badge, either legs in or legs out. Legs in, legs out, here. Variations of that we did, arm over the top, tuck it in by the neck, arm over the top and underneath the arm just like before, grab hold, so you might be grabbing hold of the gi, hands here, legs in, sorry, knees in, or legs out, superhero badge and superhero badge, tuck in and out, tuck in or out. Good, jump over to the other side, arm over top of the head, tuck it in, hand comes underneath and grab. From there, make it nice and tight, legs out, legs in, legs out, superhero badge on superhero badge, or legs in. And the last variation of that one we did, this arm, instead of going over the top of the body, came to the hip, either grabbing the trouser leg or the belt, holding them down here, other hand over the top, to here, moving round, grabbing hold of them here, stopping them from turning into me so much, here, Mune gatame, chest on chest, here, legs in, legs out. So practice grabbing hold of the belt or grabbing down the bottom of the pillow, like the trouser leg here, stretching that leg out, legs in, okay, or legs out. Let's go to the other side. Arm over the top, tuck it in by the neck, other hand by the hip, and we're squeezing these arms towards each other, chest on chest. Might grab hold of this arm and the top of this shoulder, in, legs out, legs in, legs out, legs in. Then from here, we had Kesa gatame. So kneel next to them. From there, pick up the arm closest, grab hold of it, tuck this arm under over the top of the shoulder, and then drop onto that hip underneath the head, grab hold of the shoulder, running legs, and there we are in Kesa gatame. Let's come back up. From here, grab hold of the arm, over the top, tuck in, through. Once more, arm that's closest, grab hold of it, tuck it underneath, arm over the top, underneath their head, drop your legs in, 1. We go to the other side. Arm that's closest to me, I grab, tuck it underneath me. Arm goes under, grab hold of the gi, tuck your legs out into running position. And come through again, arm that's closest, tuck, arm underneath the head, basing on their back hip, keeping your knees down so they're not up, here. And one more, 1, 2, 3, and there's your Kesa. So now we go to Kuzure to finish off this little section of the first 3 holds. Arm that's closest to me, I grab hold of. Other arm goes underneath their arm, grabs hold of the shoulder, tucks the elbow in, running legs. Here, arm that's closest, grab hold of. Arm goes underneath, grab hold of the shoulder, tuck your elbow in, it's nice and tight, basing yourself on the rib cage of the side you're on. So here, so don't go over the far side, tuck it into that rib cage. Here, that's pressing into the chest there. So on this side, the closest side. One more, grab hold, arm underneath, grab hold of the gi, elbow, tuck those running legs out, and then we've got Kuzure. Go around the other side, from here, bring it, tuck it, arm underneath, grab hold of the gi, elbow, change my legs, so I've got running legs. Remember, push into the rib cage on this side of them, on the side you're on. Arm, tuck, underneath, gi, elbow, running legs, rib cage. Here. Final one. Arm, underneath, elbow, chicken wing. Underneath, gi, tuck in the elbow. Pop your hip through, running legs on the back hip, driving into that rib cage. And there's Derek held down for the first 3 holds. Hopefully that all made sense, and we'll do them in Mon grades as well, but that's the first 3 holds. Right? Thank you very much, warriors.